I wanted to do a video. I feel like often people are really not the. I feel like, I ran across a video that I watched in Paris. I ran across some comments, different things like that. And nothing new, really, honestly. It's something that I feel happens like often when it comes to like issues pertaining colorism. It's always like this. I've gone through points where I've watched channels that were like the colorism side of YouTube. And I've gone through points where I've watched channels that were more pro light skin. And in both cases, they might put on a front that they don't hate the other side, but it always turns out that they, in turn, hate the other side. So, for the dark skin colorist side, you'll find sometimes they try to pretend or they try to hide that they don't hate biracials, hide that they don't hate light skinned black people. But in reality, when it comes to it, eventually you'll find they hate biracials, they hate light skinned black people, they even hate people who are light brown, who they claim aren't light skinned. At least in my experience, you see this, like, for example, um, people like Nicki Minaj, for example. You'll see on Chrissy's channel, for example, she's always considered her light brown, not light skinned. Yet, in another video, she claimed she was not even black and shows obvious hate towards her like light skinned women. See, the thing is that people might say a certain thing, but actions speak louder than words, one, and people show who they truly are when you watch them long enough, basically. There's one situation I would see in the comments where this person would attack another woman's hair type, but would claim on her videos that she wasn't colorist, even though she was like pro light skin. And I didn't mind her channel for a little bit. She was so pro black men, I couldn't do it. It was just, me, I'm not pro black men, pro dark skinned black men. And to me, it's like being lighter skinned, um, if you're pro dark skinned people, either dark skinned men or dark skinned women, you're not pro light skin, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because you're basically just trying to appease one platform of the dark skinned population or another. So, like, if you're just trying to appeal to dark skinned black men or dark skinned black women, you're not really trying to actually talk about what's good for people who are lighter skinned or things of that nature. And when you talk about light skinned people, you don't have to hate dark skinned people. Just like when you talk about dark skinned people, you don't have to hate light skinned people. Like, if you're really caring about what problems you basically face as a lighter skinned or darker skinned person, it shouldn't come with hating dark-skinned people or light-skinned people. Because when you do that, it's basically coming from a place of bias. And that's something that I don't appreciate on either side. Anytime I hear dark skin channels hate on light skin channels, I always unsubscribe. Anytime I hear light skin channels talk poorly on dark skin channels, I unsubscribe. That's just what I do because it's like, if you're coming from a place of hate, you're not coming from a place of truth. You're coming from a place of biasness. You're coming from a place of, I'm angry at this person, therefore whenever I talk on these issues, it's to slight the other side, rather than to talk in reality about whatever you were dealing with colorism, or how you perceive colorism in a neutral way, you know. And, honestly, from my perspective, I obviously find it's easier with people who aren't light or dark because they seem to be a little less biased because they don't really have a dog in the fight, kind of thing. Sometimes, like, you know, for me, I guess I kind of do side with light skin point of view when it comes to colorism. On some regards, I've said that several times, because I've said this in the other video. On the dark skin side of things, brown skin people are kind of accepted, but when you're light brown skin, it's different, and you're not really accepted. It's almost like, they're angry at you, so, like, they don't, like, they want to point out you're not light skin, but at the same time, they don't want to accept you. They don't want to take you. And so that's why, for me, my point of view, when it comes to colors, and I might side sometimes with light skinned platforms, but, I don't have any hate towards dark skinned black people. Even dark skinned black men, I don't have any hate towards them. I'm just not attracted to them. Um, you would think after everything I've been through with dark skinned black men, no, I don't have any hate for them. Um, but yeah, that's just generally how I feel about the situation. I just feel like a lot of the time people don't really realize what they are making themselves be perceived as, basically. Like, they don't realize that they're making themselves look like they don't like dark skinned black women or light skinned black women when they attack them and call them names. So that's basically all I have to say in this video. It's just that I can't find any channels where there are light skin platforms where, they don't go in and hate dark skinned people for their phenotype. Don't talk poorly about their phenotype. I can't find dark skinned channels for the most part, especially the colorism crybaby channels. Where they don't go in on light skinned black women. In one way or another, they go after light skinned black women. There's always animus when it comes to that. And it's like, from my point of view, especially with dark skinned channels, it's like, if you have animus towards them, you're going to have animus towards me because I'm not dark skinned. With light skinned people, it's kind of the same way. If you're going to have animus towards them for being dark, I'm darker than you. So what are you saying here? And then on top of it, with the light skin platform, it's really bad because it's like, in reality, everything that you've said negatively about dark skinned black people is the same thing that white people have said to you. And that's what hurts and burns more because it's personal, you know. And, dark skinned black people are a way to redeem yourself, and I understand that, to feel better about the fact that you were called those things by white people. But from my perspective, I can't take your point of view as real when you can't be unbiased and put your emotions outside of it and put what you've been through outside of it and actually deal with the facts of the situation as far as being light-skinned when it comes to the platforms of colorism. So that's just my complaint on colorism platforms. It's just like both sides have a lot of hate, it seems like. And I just wish people could stop being so emotional and stop being so negative towards each other, and actually, deal with whatever they deal with. Like, point out how it is with colorism as a lighter skinned person, or point out how it is to be darker skinned with colorism. Things like that. You know, in reality, I don't believe in colorism, and I've said that plenty of times. To me, I kind of think you can't have that much colorism, especially within the community, if you think that people who are the minority and not seen as the actual image of black people, that they can oppress you. To me, I don't think that that's true. You know, when basically dark skinned black people go against you and you're lighter skinned, you don't win. You can't win. One, other light skinned people want to side with dark skinned people because they know they can't make it without dark skinned black people. Because dark skinned black people are the majority. And so, I mean, to me, that's why I don't believe in colorism for another reason. Because it's like, if you're the majority and you're what's seen as the image of blackness, then I don't really see how it exists. But, I mean, I still like to hear other perspectives. I'm open to hearing other people's perspective. Um, I have my reasons why I don't honestly believe in colorism, but with that said, to me, I just feel like, you know, when it comes down to it, we can never get anyone's point of view when both sides are just having an ulterior motive to take the other down, you know. And that doesn't create unity, honestly, when you're just trying to tear the other side down. It just creates more division and more problems. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Thanks for listening. Bye.